All right, everyone. Ready for a trip back in time? Today we're diving deep into the North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
A journey through stunning landscapes.
Vintage charm.
And maybe even a few sheep or two.
Oh, you'll see what I mean. But first things first, quick tip for anyone heading to York. Grab Alistair's book, York Local Knowledge, Must-Do Top 10s and the Vouchers to get them for less.
Available on iBooks and Google Books.
And trust me, you will thank me later.
While you're at it, check out the House of York Holiday Homes.
Perfect home base.
www.houseofyork.org.
They've got options for everyone. Okay, back to those steam engines. Now, this railway, it's a bit of a celebrity.
Oh, it is.
UK's most popular heritage line, and maybe even the busiest steam railway in the world.
It is very popular.
But here's the kicker. It didn't start with all that glamorous steam.
No, it didn't. Back in 1836, when the Whitby and Pickering Railway first opened, it was all about horsepower.
Literally.
Literally. Passengers rode in carriages pulled by horses.
Horses. Talk about a slow commute. But hey, I guess that's how you really soak in those Moors views.
Right. That's one way to do it.
But seriously, building a railway through that terrain back then must have been, well, a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Picture this. A 120-yard tunnel.
Why?
Carved straight through solid rock at Grossmont. That tunnel's still there today. A testament to some serious old-school engineering.
Okay, that's impressive. But what about that Beck Hole incline? How did they get horses to pull carriages up that?
That's where the ingenuity comes in. They created this rope-worked incline system.
Okay.
Basically a giant pulley system.
To haul those carriages uphill.
Exactly.
Talk about a workout.
Absolutely.
But wait, there's more. They had to cross Fen Bog,
Right.
which I hear was basically a giant swamp.
It was.
How on earth did they manage that?
Okay, get this. They used timber and, wait for it, sheep fleeces.
Sheep fleeces.
Apparently. They created this surprisingly stable foundation.
By layering them under the tracks.
That's right.
Sheep fleeces. It's official. This railway is full of surprises.
It is.
So when did the steam engines finally roll in and steal the show?
1845, thanks to the York and North Midland Railway.
They acquired the line.
Yes, brought in those iconic steam locomotives and even gave that Beck Hole incline a steam-powered makeover.
So the railway we know and love today really started to take shape in the mid-1800s.
It did.
But as with many railways, there were some bumps along the way. Tell me about the beaching cuts.
Right.
Those must have hit hard.
They did.
Yeah.
The beaching cuts of 1965 aimed to modernize the British rail network. Unfortunately, led to the closure of many lines, including this one.
A tough time for railways across the UK.
It was.
What a loss that must have been.
Yeah.
All that history and beauty just sitting there, unused. But wait, this railway is running today. Yeah. So I'm guessing this isn't the end of the story.
Definitely not.
Okay.
This is where our story takes a heroic turn.
Okay.
A group of passionate folks, not ready to see this piece of history fade away, formed the North Yorkshire Moors Railway Preservation Society in 1967.
Talk about a real-life rescue mission. So they swooped in and saved the day.
They did.
Why?
Through years of fundraising, sheer hard work, they managed to purchase the line and after lots of TLC, reopened it to the public in 1973.
That's what I call dedication.
It is.
Now let's talk about the stars of the show.
Huh?
The stations.
Okay.
Each one seems to have its own unique personality. Let's start with Pickering, the southern gateway to this adventure. What's the vibe there?
Pickering's like stepping right into a Victorian postcard, beautifully restored, touch of grandeur. They even re-roofed the whole station in 2012.
Wow. Talk about commitment.
They're dedicated.
So it's all about Victorian elegance. I can picture it now. Strolling through the station, feeling like I've time traveled back to a more refined era. But what about something a little more, shall we say, off the beaten path?
Okay.
What about Levisham?
Levisham is your countryside escape, a haven for walkers and nature lovers. But here's the quirky part. It's actually almost 2 miles away from the village it's named after.
Wait, what? 2 miles? That's dedication to a train ride.
It is.
So it's all about peace, quiet, and maybe a good pair of walking shoes.
Exactly.
Now, if you're feeling adventurous, let's hop on board and head to Newtondale Halt. This one's a bit of a hidden gem.
It is.
Tucked away in Crompton Forest. Okay, I'm intrigued.
All right.
Hidden gem, you say. Spill the tea. What makes it so special?
Well, first of all, it's a request stop. Which means you have to actually flag the train down if you want to get on. Talk about
Ah.
a blast from the past.
So it's like a real-life choose-your-own-adventure. You decide when and where the train stops. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready for the next stop on our station tour. What's next?
Next up is the star of the show, Goathland Station.
Okay.
You might recognize it as Hogsmeade from the Harry Potter films,
Oh, hold on.
or Aidensfield from the British TV series Heartbeat.
This station's a celebrity.
It is.
Hogsmeade. No way. This is where the magic happens.
It is.
Literally. I can practically see those Hogwarts students bustling about.
Yeah. It's a popular spot, to say the least. But even if you're not a Potterhead, Goathland is a charming village, stunning scenery, and a timeless atmosphere.
I'm adding this to my must-visit list.
Okay.
Onward we go. Tell me about Grosemont. What makes this station tick?
Grosemont is the heart and soul of the NYMR.
Okay.
It's home to the locomotive sheds, where all the magic happens. You can see the engines up close,
Wow.
watch the restoration work, and even get a glimpse of the behind-the-scenes action.
So it's like a backstage pass to the world of steam engines. I can practically smell the coal and oil.
Mm.
This sounds the dream come true for any train enthusiast.
Okay.
Okay, fill the beans. What other secrets does Grosemont hold?
Here's a fun fact. Grosemont is also where the NYMR connects with the modern-esque Valley Line, so you can seamlessly transition from a heritage steam journey to a modern-day train ride.
Whoa. Talk about a blend of old and new.
That's right.
You can travel through time and then hop right back into the 21st century. That's incredible.
It is.
And finally, we arrive at our grand finale, the seaside town of Whitby, the eastern terminus of the North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
That's right.
Whitby, I've heard so much about it. The dramatic abbey ruins perched on the cliff top, the charming harbor, the connections to Bram Stoker's Dracula. It sounds like something out of a novel.
It is a captivating blend of history, literature, and seaside charm.
Imagine this. Arriving in Whitby after a scenic journey through the moors, the sea breeze in your hair, the scent of salt air, and those iconic abbey ruins looming in the distance. What a way to end a day on the railway.
Absolutely.
It's a truly unforgettable experience.
It is.
But, the journey itself is just as captivating as the destination.
It is.
Okay, let's talk about those journeys. What kind of adventures await passengers on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway?
Well, for the full heritage experience, you can't beat the classic Pickering to Whitby journey.
Ah, the classic.
It's like a time capsule taking you through the heart of the moors.
And dropping you right on the coast. Okay, that's the classic rig. Got it.
But let's say I'm not a full day on the train kind of person.
Okay.
Are there shorter options for those of us with, shall we say, a more limited attention span?
Absolutely. You can hop on and off at any of the stations.
Oh.
Fancy a wander around Goathland or a hike in the hills around Levisham.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
The railway gives you the freedom to explore at your own pace.
Now that's what I call flexibility. You can tailor your journey to your own interests and energy levels. But wait, I've heard whispers of something even more exciting. What about those themed journeys?
Right.
Spill the beans.
Ah, you're talking about the special events. They're a whole other level of fun.
Okay.
We've got steam galas for the hardcore train spotters,
Nice.
Sansa specials for the young and young at heart, and even 1940s and 1960s weekends where everyone dresses up and the stations come alive with vintage vibes.
The 1940s weekends. Sounds right up my alley.
So it's not just a train ride. It's a full-on immersive experience. I love that they're bringing history to life in such a fun and engaging way. But let's not forget the real stars of the show, the engines themselves.
Yeah.
Tell me more about these steam-powered beauties.
The North Yorkshire Moors Railway boasts a diverse collection of both steam and diesel locomotives, each with its own unique history and personality.
Personality. Come on. You're making me love these engines even more.
I know.
Do any famous names grace these tracks?
You might just spot some iconic engines like the Flying Scotsman
Oh, wow.
racing these rails from time to time.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for those powerful Grizzly A4 Pacifics. They were a highlight of a past LNER gala.
Oh, I can only imagine the thrill of seeing those legendary engines in action, billowing steam.
It's amazing.
Chugging through the countryside, it must be a sight to behold. But keeping these beauties running smoothly can't be easy, right?
No.
Yeah.
That's where the locomotive sheds at Grosemont come in. They're the heart of the operation, where the engines are lovingly maintained and restored. It's a true labor of love.
It's like a giant mechanical spa for steam engines.
Yeah.
Speaking of dedication, I'd love to hear more about the people who keep this railway chugging along. The volunteers, the staff, the heart and soul of the operation.
The North Yorkshire Moors Railway is like a big family, and a huge part of that family is made up of volunteers. These
Yeah.
are the folks who dedicate their time and passion to keeping this piece of history alive.
That's incredible. Volunteers. So it's not just a job, it's a calling.
Absolutely.
What kind of things do these volunteers do?
Oh, everything. They drive the engines, operate the signals, staff the stations, greet visitors, even help with restoration work. They're the backbone of this railway, and their passion is contagious.
That's inspiring. It really shows how much people care about this railway. They're not just preserving history, they're creating new memories for generations to come. Now, I have a feeling this railway might have a bit of a Hollywood streak.
It does.
Has it ever graced the silver screens?
Oh, absolutely. With
Yeah.
those picture-perfect stations and vintage trains, it's a natural for film and television.
I bet. I can just picture those steam engines chugging through those scenic landscapes, transporting us to another time and place. So, spill the tea. What famous productions have featured the North Yorkshire Moors Railway?
Well, we've already mentioned Hogsmeade Station in Harry Potter,
Right.
but it's also been in Heartbeat, Downton Abbey,
No.
and even Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Wait, so even Ethan Hunt couldn't resist a ride on a heritage railway?
Apparently not.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this railway is officially a celebrity in its own right. Now, for those of us lucky enough to be planning a visit, what are your top tips for making the most of the experience?
Well, first things first, book your tickets in advance, especially if you're planning to travel during peak season or attend one of those exciting special events.
Solid advice. I can imagine those events get pretty popular.
They do. And remember, this is the UK we're talking about, so be prepared for 4 seasons in one day.
Right.
Pack layers, a raincoat,
Okay.
maybe even a sun hat, just in case.
Okay. I'll be sure to pack for all eventualities.
Good.
What else should we keep in mind when planning our North Yorkshire Moors Railway adventure?
Comfortable shoes are a must.
Okay.
You'll be doing a lot of walking, especially if you're hopping on and off at different stations.
Right.
And don't forget your camera. You'll want to capture all the stunning scenery and those iconic steam engines.
Great tips.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too carried away with planning our trips, let's talk about the future of this incredible railway. Heritage railways face unique challenges in today's world. What are some of the key issues facing the North Yorkshire Moors Railway?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is sustainability,
Okay.
both environmental and financial. Balancing the preservation of this historic railway with the need to reduce its carbon footprint and generate income is a delicate dance.
Yeah, I could see how that would be tricky. On one hand, you want to keep those steam engines running and preserve the authenticity of the experience. But on the other hand, you need to be mindful of the environment and ensure the railway's long-term viability.
Exactly. And the NYMR is actively exploring ways to reduce its environmental impact.
Okay.
They're looking into sustainable fuels,
Okay.
investing in eco-friendly technologies, and even planting trees to offset emissions.
That's fantastic. So they're taking concrete steps to protect the beautiful landscape they're a part of.
They are, but sustainability isn't just about the environment. It's also about finances. Heritage railways rely heavily on ticket sales, donations, and grants.
So finding ways to attract new visitors and diversify income streams is crucial, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The NYMR is doing a great job with its special events and themed weekends. Those are always a hit. And they're exploring other options too, like hosting weddings, corporate events, and film shoots.
So it's about being creative and finding new ways to engage people with this amazing piece of history.
Exactly. And speaking of engaging people, another challenge is attracting younger generations.
Right.
It's vital to get young people excited about heritage railways. Otherwise, who will carry the torch forward?
That's a great point. So how do you get young people interested in something that might seem, well, a bit old-fashioned?
Well, you have to make it relevant to their lives. That means embracing technology, using social media to tell the railway's story in a way that resonates with younger audiences, and maybe even creating interactive exhibits or virtual reality experiences.
A virtual reality steam train ride.
Maybe.
Now that's something I'd want to try.
It's all about finding that sweet spot between preserving the past and embracing the future.
Okay, so attracting younger generations and ensuring financial and environmental sustainability are key challenges.
They are.
But I'm also curious about something else. We've talked about the existing line between Pickering and Whitby, but are there any plans to expand the railway?
That's a topic that always sparks debate.
Okay.
There have been discussions about reopening a section of the line that was closed during the beaching cuts,
Okay.
the one that would connect the NYMR to Malton.
Malton. Isn't that on the main line to York? So you could potentially travel all the way from York to Whitby on a heritage railway.
That's the dream. Imagine that. A seamless steam-powered journey through the heart of Yorkshire.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's some hurdles to overcome.
Oh, yeah. Reopening a closed railway line is a massive undertaking. It's not just about laying tracks. It's about logistics, finances, even politics.
Yeah.
There are passionate voices on both sides of the debate.
Okay, so it's a complex issue, but the potential benefits are huge. It would be a boon for tourism, create new jobs, and reconnect communities. But for now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that might seem a little unexpected. Heritage railways are often seen as relics of the past, but they can actually play a role in promoting sustainability in more ways than one.
That's an interesting angle. It might seem counterintuitive, but heritage railways have a lot to offer in terms of promoting a more sustainable future.
Okay, I'm all ears. How so?
Well, for starters, steam trains, while they might seem old-fashioned, are actually a pretty efficient way to move people.
Okay.
They're powerful, and believe it or not, they run on renewable energy sources.
Renewable, you mean like coal and wood?
Exactly.
Mm.
And heritage railways also promote sustainable tourism by encouraging people to visit rural areas, support local businesses, experience the beauty of the countryside without relying on cars.
It's like slow travel at its finest.
Precisely. It's about taking your time, savoring the journey, connecting with the places you visit on a deeper level.
I love that. It's a more mindful and sustainable way to travel.
Mm.
And it aligns perfectly with the spirit of heritage railways.
And let's not forget the role heritage railways play in preserving our industrial heritage. By keeping these locomotives running, they're reminding us of our past, inspiring us to think about the future.
It's about recognizing the ingenuity and craftsmanship of previous generations.
Yeah.
Using that knowledge to create a more sustainable future.
You got it. But, sustainability isn't just about practical things.
Okay.
It's also about the emotional and spiritual side of things.
Oh, I like where this is going. Tell me more.
Well, there's something about heritage railways that evokes a sense of nostalgia, wonder, and connection to the past.
I know exactly what you mean. There's a certain romance to traveling by steam train. It's like stepping back in time.
Exactly. And it can be a very grounding experience. In a world that's constantly rushing forward, heritage railways offer a chance to slow down, reflect, appreciate the simple things.
They're like little pockets of tranquility in a chaotic world.
Exactly. And in a world that's increasingly digital and disconnected, they offer a tangible connection to the past.
Yeah.
And a reminder of the enduring power of human ingenuity.
It's truly inspiring. And it speaks to the importance of preserving our heritage, not just for practical reasons, but for the emotional and spiritual benefits it offers.
Well said. And speaking of preserving our heritage,
Yes.
let's circle back to that debate about expanding the North Yorkshire Moors Railway to Malton.
Ah, yes. The great railway debate. You mentioned there are strong opinions on both sides. What are some of the key arguments?
Well, those who support the expansion argue that it would be a huge boost for tourism, create jobs, and reconnect communities that were divided when the original line closed. They see it as a chance to showcase even more of Yorkshire's stunning scenery and rich history.
Okay, that makes sense. It's all about bringing more people to the area and spreading the love for heritage railways, right? But what about the other side of the coin? What are the concerns of those who oppose the expansion?
They're worried about the environmental impact of such a large project. There are concerns about disrupting the natural beauty of the area and the potential noise and pollution from increased train traffic.
Yeah. I can see their point. It's a delicate balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to share this amazing railway with more people, but you also want to protect the environment that makes it so special in the first place.
Exactly. And there are also concerns about the financial feasibility of the project. Reopening a closed railway line is a massive undertaking, and some people question whether the potential benefits outweigh the costs.
It's a complex issue with valid points on both sides, but I guess that's what makes it so interesting. It sparks debate and encourages us to think critically about the future of heritage railways and how they fit into our modern world.
Yeah, it's a reminder that progress doesn't always mean abandoning the past. Sometimes it means finding ways to integrate the best of both worlds, preserving our heritage while embracing innovation and sustainability.
Well said. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something a bit more, shall we say, philosophical. We've talked about the practical and economic aspects of heritage railways, but I'm curious about their cultural significance. What is it about these railways that captures our imaginations and makes them so special?
There's something about heritage railways that taps into a deep-seated longing for a simpler time, a slower pace of life, a connection to the past, a sense of wonder.
It's like they transport us to another era, a time when journeys were more than just getting from point A to point B.
Mm.
They were adventures filled with anticipation, discovery, and a sense of romance.
You've hit the nail on the head. Heritage railways evoke a sense of nostalgia, even for those of us who never experienced the golden age of steam travel. They offer a glimpse into a bygone era, a time when craftsmanship and attention to detail were valued and journeys were savored rather than rushed.
It's like stepping into a living museum, a world of polished brass gleaming paintwork, the rhythmic chug of a steam engine, the scent of coal smoke, and the friendly faces of the volunteers who are so passionate about sharing this piece of history with the world.
They're not just preserving machines, they're preserving memories, stories, and a way of life that's fast disappearing, and they're reminding us that progress doesn't always have to come at the expense of beauty, craftsmanship, and tradition.
It's inspiring, isn't it? In a world that's obsessed with speed efficiency and instant gratification. Heritage railways offer a chance to slow down, disconnect from the digital world, and reconnect with something tangible, authentic, and timeless.
Absolutely. They remind us that taking the time to appreciate the journey, to connect with the people and places around us, and to savor the simple pleasures of life is just as important as reaching our destination.
And I think that's a message that resonates with people of all ages, whether you're a seasoned train enthusiast or a first-time visitor. There's something about a heritage railway that sparks joy, wonder, and a sense of connection.
They remind us of our shared humanity, our ingenuity, and our capacity for creativity and innovation, and they inspire us to preserve the best of the past while building a better future.
Well said. As we wrap up this deep dive into the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, I'm left with a sense of awe, gratitude, and renewed appreciation for the power of heritage to connect us to the past, inspire us in the present, and guide us toward a brighter future.
It's been a fascinating journey, and if you're ever looking for an adventure that combines history, nature, and a touch of old-world charm, I highly recommend hopping aboard the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. You won't regret it.
I couldn't agree more. And remember, if you're planning a trip to the York area, don't forget to grab Alistair's book, York Local Knowledge Must-Do Top 10s and the Vouchers to get them for less. It's packed with insider tips and will help you make the most of your visit.
And for the perfect home away from home, check out the House of York Holiday Homes. They've got options for everyone, from cozy couples retreats to spacious family getaways.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time, steam, and the captivating world of the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep the spirit of adventure alive.